Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Code Realize Wintertide Miracles. And hopefully, I remember what the hell's going on because I didn't record yesterday. So, uh, I did my taxes because I have to be an adult. I hate doing taxes. I gotta be honest, TurboTax made it really fucking easy, and I'm like, why do I hate doing this? Like, I mean, it's a pain in the ass. Because literally, like, at least, and everything's online, so that's nice. You're like, I don't have to wait for all the paperwork. But it's really fucking annoying because, like, now, because Curse kicked everyone out and everyone's now just on Google AdSense, they're kind of douchey about shit. Like, it's really fucking hard to go into Google AdSense and figure out, like, look, I just want you to tell me, like, technically you sent me the payment this year, but I earned it last year, right? I just need you to tell me how much money I earned last year. And it's like, going on, and you're like, I can't figure this out. It's like, oh my God. So, like, because I have to file my earnings, my $14 that I earned and pay taxes on it. It just, I also just hate the fact that I have to pay $40 to file state taxes and $40 for the federal, but dollars for state taxes, and it's not even worth it. Like last year, I got $7 back. I'm like, just fucking keep it. Like, well, I mean, I have to pay you $40 in order to get 7. It seems really fucking stupid. I'm losing money here. I just don't understand this. But it was actually funny because, of course, when you file your federal taxes, they're like, "How much did you get back in your taxes last year from the state?" And you're like, $7. You're like, "Good news! You don't have to pay tax on that." And you're like, "I fucking shouldn't have to. $7 fucking. You should feel sorry for me. You should be like, we're gonna give you more money back because we feel sorry for you." Like, that's so fucking stupid. Like, and I'm sorry, but nobody should have to pay tax on their fucking state refund unless your state refund was like $1,000,000 or something fucking ridiculous. But like, who the hell's getting a nice big like I got hundreds of what state do you live in? Fucking North Carolina sucks. I don't know. $7 fucking. I was like, seriously? I think one year I actually got like $2 back. So North Carolina tried, but it's not as shitty as what I used to. Like Massachusetts, I used to get like, not kidding. It was either $223 or $233 every fucking year. I could have made $15. I could have made $50 million, and my taxes it was always the same amount. And I'm like, I think you're doing something wrong, Massachusetts. I don't even know. I don't think you're doing this right because I should be not the same. I paid $14 in taxes and I'm getting 200 back. I paid $3 billion in taxes. I'm getting 200 back. Like, there's serious discrepancy here. But like, whatever. Okay. I mean, I put the numbers in, and the federal always changes, but I don't know. Saw 2 people on Facebook. One person was like, so angry about his taxes. And the other one was like, yeah, I did my taxes. And I'm like, I don't really know where I'm going to fall in the spectrum. I was actually kind of happy, though. Like, I did it. I was actually pleased. I got okay, so last year, $7 back from the state, had to pay $40 to file. This year, again, $40 to file. I'll get $44 back. So technically, I made $4 off the state this year instead of being in debt. Woohoo! So now, if we just put in about 20 years, I might be even where, okay, I've paid $7,000 to file my taxes, and I've actually finally made a profit on this. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. But anyway, it's all right. Pay $80 to file my fucking taxes, and everybody else in the world is like, wait, what? And then you have to do the paperwork because then the government employees do what? Nothing? I don't know. I don't think they're getting paid right now, so I kind of understand that, but I don't know. Taxes fucking sucks. Every year, it's like it sneaks up on you every year. You're like, shit. Also, I should get my eye appointment done, but they should call me. They should call me and be like, hey, you need to come. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to have to call and do it. I like going to the eye doctor. I do. It's like the only doctor I go to, and they're usually nice. They're like, okay, yeah, you're not blind. Thanks. Like, you know, but it's also like $200 I have to spend because, insurance only covers so much, and I have to pay for all the freaking the normal exam and part of my contacts and fucking the $50 deductible for the medical exam that I have to have every fucking year. Like, I mean, just, it's like, Who's got $200? I don't wanna. But I'm running out of contacts, so. And I need my eyeballs. Kinda need them, otherwise we can't read these games. Anyway, that's my story about being an adult. Now let's stop doing that and go back to being Van Helsing. Anyway, so we're in Van Helsing's route, and I'm pretty sure we were, like I said, I didn't play yesterday, so I don't fucking remember anything. We were with him in Delhi, so we're still Van Helsing. So, let me try to do my Van Helsing voice. I should practice this before I play the game. Like when I'm loading it, I should start practicing my voices because we always get to this point where I got to start to read, and then I feel awkward. And I'm like, then I get a stage fright thing, like, but I don't, because I don't know why. It's like they're not coming naturally to me right now. And then, anyway, and then, that wasn't his voice, but hold on. By the time we arrived at the mansion, the sky's already dyed in its deep evening hues. Okay, that's better. Oh! Oh, I love your precious face. I heard it was as good as abandoned, but it seems to have been mended far better than I'd expected. Partially obscured by the surrounding trees as an old, yet well-maintained mansion. I would have liked some time to prepare myself, but... Is that me running out? I'm so excited! Oh no, Delhi's running. I thought we were running out because that would be me. I would be literally peering out the window until I saw him, and I'd be like, you just barely see the top of his head, my ass would be out the fucking door and in his arms. It's Van Helsing, don't tell me you wouldn't do the same thing, because you fucking would, and you know it. Affording me not even a second longer, Delacroix rushes for the front door and makes for the knocker. Hello in there! We're here! That was not a good Delhi voice, but... It's me, Delacroix! Helsing's here too! The boy's voice echoes loud and clear throughout the forest, far from the bustle of city life. However, for all his knocking and calling, there's no response from inside the mansion. Did you assholes not even send a message as you were coming? Dick move. Don't ever fucking just show up at someone's house. I'll forgive you because you're Van Helsing, but seriously, I just dropped my thing. Ah! Sorry. I decide to give the doorknob a try myself, but it doesn't turn in the slightest. Also, and then you're just gonna walk right the fuck in? Dude, Van Helsing, you're lucky I love you so much, because this is just... It's locked. They appear to be out. Out? After we came all this way? Could our timing have been any worse? No use dwelling on it. It's a risk we took coming unannounced, after all. Well, where could they have gone? Think they'll be back soon? Where could we have gone? I would hope so, but I have no way of knowing for sure. It's early enough that they could have gone out to buy groceries nearby. You would have seen us on the road, But then again, as per Lupin's telegraph, he's trying to assemble the crew again for his Christmas celebration. Assuming they received the same message, it's conceivable that they may have already left for London. In any event, let's wait for a bit. Fortunately, there's still time before the stagecoach's next pass. If they haven't returned by then, we'll return to the city. Any objections? Sounds good. Oh, this makes me so sad. I'm just yay, we get to see Van Helsing, and then we'll be me, and we get all excited, and he's and we're not even here, and I'm no! Ah! Anyway, we sit down under a nearby tree, resting against it. He must have been really looking forward to this. Delacroix looks clearly disappointed and hugs his knees, looking tired. The sight makes me feel rather bad. On the other hand, I can't help but feel a bit relieved that the two aren't home. It's not that I don't want to see them, of course. I'm sure I'd have been relieved to see them, and I certainly want to. Yet, at the same time, I feel like I'll have to steel myself for my reunion with Finis. I have a bit of a difficult personality, if I do say so myself. He's still the one prime target of my revenge for my family, and yet he's also the brother of someone dear to me. That's a tough position. Finis may not have been the one to give the order to kill my family, but regardless, my past grudge yet lives on. You should learn something from Delhi. Finis may not be the person who gave the orders to kill your family, because that was Alistair, But you actually murdered Deli's family, and he's kind of forgiven you. So I'm just saying, Deli's a good example of, you know. My shotgun is beginning to feel tremendously heavy. The only thing I'm sure of is that I'm unsure of what I should do. I know full well that there's no longer any meaning in killing Finis. What am I to do then? What should I do? The vampire boy beside me, meanwhile, has long since found his answer. Oh, flashbacks. Delacroix. What is it, Helsing? Delacroix II, who had been staring at the path, directs his glance to me. I lost my words for a brief moment, shot through by his gaze that bore no sign of resentment any longer. Why did you allow me to accompany you on this journey? Am I not the one responsible for your father and clan? Did you not vehemently swear to me that you would fulfill your revenge? Why do you hesitate? Even during this journey alone, I'm sure there have been ample opportunities for him to kill me. And yet, there's the indisputable fact that I'm still alive. I mean, you think you are. This could be another Psychedelica game for all we fucking know. Code realized. Psychedelica of Wintertide Miracles. I want a crossover. I want a fucking crossover game. Perhaps that might provide me with my answers. Delacroix's eyes widened in surprise to my words. You're seriously bringing that up after this long? That was so far in the past that I barely understood what you meant at first. He lets out a deep sigh, realizing that I meant exactly what it sounded like. Why do I hesitate, you ask? Why wouldn't I hesitate, you dolt? Sure, I hesitated. And there were times when I wanted to beat you to a pulp on the spot. I know that you had your own circumstances, and that the massacre wasn't your intention, and that you're not a truly evil person. But even ignoring all that, you are without a doubt the one I seek for revenge. For myself and the vampires. A natural response, but one that only complicates my question. Why then? Delacroix continues, his words cutting me off. It's for that very reason that you are the target of my revenge that I let you live. As a symbol of my determination. A symbol of my existence. The desire for revenge to sate one's spite is to be expected, but despite for the sake of revenge, doesn't that seem odd to you? Delacroix nods and then looks to me. It's like he's staring at his own reflection in my eyes. You, Van Helsing, are a symbol that represents possibilities. Abraham von Helsing, the blood-soaked hero of the vampire war. To the vampires, I'm evil personified, a man beyond reconcile, worthy only of death. The same is only a matter of course for Delacroix, who should hate me eternally. Now, though, we've somehow become friends. So whenever I see you, I feel like no matter how impossible it may seem, that one day, I'll be able to carry things out. Young Master Delacroix makes a smile like that of a child and points his finger at me. Anyway, if you're still fantasizing about being killed by me, I suggest cutting that out. In fact, I wouldn't kill you even if you begged me to. So keep at it as my partner in crime as hard as you can, Helsing. Fucking love Deli. I do. I see. So that's your conclusion. Yes, it is as you wish, young Master Delacroix II. Words of acceptance naturally flow from my mouth. Look at how he looks at him so sweetly. Look at him, he's like, oh, they're best friends. I love it. Oh. I don't mind being a servant under him, and I can even believe that I'd laid out my life for him. Perhaps it's a matter of perspective, or the present circumstances, but in my mind, the uncanny image of the late King Delacroix seemed to overlap the diminutive, oh my god. I know, I don't know why I can't read that right now. Diminutive. Oh my god. I can't. I don't know. Don't hurt yourself, kid. That's literally what I felt. Holy shit. That was a Nemo moment. Wow. Okay. Well, the miniature vampire has certainly grown to be admirable. Grown to be? I've always been admirable. I crack a smile and can't help but laugh at my pathetic situation, praising the boy who will one day rule. In 10 years' time, he'll grow to be a fine king. They gave us that CG after, what, the first game or whatever, where you're like, look, here's Delacroix as an adult. And you're like, what are you doing to me, game? Holy shit. God, he's pretty. You're like, oh, are we going to get like a in the future route where we're like 40 and he's like 20 and we're like, it's the cougar route? So weird. My white breath scatters into the air as I gaze up at the high winter sky. And the clouds move smoothly along. The light of the sunset is already dimming and night expanding over the horizon. Despite, for the sake of revenge, is like putting the cart before the horse. So if I discard my hatred for the one from whom I seek revenge, leaving my vengeful wrath in the past, what then would remain of me, the man who has heretofore sustained himself bathing in blood? What would remain of the heart that burns in fiery rancor? I want to seek out that answer. And I want it from the girl who called herself a doll, who never smiled, who showed so few emotions. Oh! The girl who, in the end, blossomed with myriad emotions and showed me her smile. Oh my god, so romantically cute. Does your heart hurt? My chest hurts. Okay. Somebody call an ambulance. Oh, my chest hurts so bad. In a good way. Spacey. It's so awkward having to read my own name. I don't know why I do this to myself. You know what? It's the immersion. Because I can't just call the character a random name. It's like, I know, but we're her. Shh. We're in her brain. If I could wish upon a star, then right this very moment Oh. Bye. We get to be us now? Only a few hours prior. Okay. This is heavy. And not to mention big. I can't even see ahead of me. On both arms full of paper bags, I walk unsteadily through the city. Many a mickle makes a muckle, or so it said. What? It's like Sandy Cross, putting sand in your belly button. Many a mickle makes a muckle. Oh, God. Even if it's mostly wool and cloth, this much of anything is bound to be heavy. And even ignoring its weight, the fact that I can't even see where I'm stepping is more than a little scary. Come now. Watch where you're going, sister. I can't get the Finnis voice without him being bitchy. And I can't. It drives me crazy because Finnis was always kind of like the dick voice was perfect for him. And now I can't get into him in a normal voice. It's bugging me. Anyway. Thanks, Finnis. It's thanks to you that I didn't topple over. As I tripped over a rock and stumbled, his hands darted out to support me under my arms. I fucking love his extra coat. Yanking away the luggage as though he's snatching it from me, Finnis sighs. At any rate, all this wool, cloth, knitting needles, don't you think you went a little overboard? They were having a sale, so I figured I should buy extra. Besides, none of it will go to waste. I'll need extra if I make any mistakes. Or you could not make mistakes to begin with. I suppose. True. Losing my opportunity for a retort to Finnis's perfectly sound argument, I walk beside him. It's a particularly cloudy winter day. Finnis and I went to a nearby town to buy extra provisions and goods. We're making preparations for a Christmas visit to London, a place we haven't seen in quite some time. As such, we're also in the process of collecting materials to craft gifts for my dear friends whom I haven't seen in just as long. That's so cute. Is she making scarves? I love making scarves. But, like, only on a loom. I can't, like, knit with needles. I gotta, like, fake knit. I gotta faux knit, you know? Anyway. But it's Christmas presents for that bunch. I hardly think it necessary to be so considerate as to go out of your way to handcraft each gift. No, I disagree. It's been ages since we've all gathered. Besides, I want to make up for the words of gratitude that I wasn't able to speak before. I did tell them, of course, how grateful I was for everything. But even so, all that I received from everyone isn't something that I can ever return with words alone. Thus, my gifts, handmade and personalized for each person. In response, Finnis averts his eyes and mutters, I sure hope words of gratitude were the only things you weren't able to speak. Sure, words of gratitude were the only things you weren't able to speak. Pardon? It's nothing. Just do whatever you please, I said. Finis puffs out his cheeks and starts walking at a faster pace. He's still a little fucking asshole. Oh, no need to get so sulky, Finis. I'm planning to make you something too. Gloves to match mine. Oh, and how about a hat to match Cece? Look at his precious face, though. He's like, you're going to make me match the dog? Oh, it'll be so cute. You and Cece will have matching hats. I just imagine that the little decorations on the bottom of his bow are just bells. Even though they're not, but I want them to be bells. So he's walking around like, dingle, 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 dingle. So they fucking bells. They're bells now. I know they're not, but we're going to pretend. I am not sulking. And why should I match with a dog? What exactly do you think I am anyway? Kind of adorable in an asshole-ish sort of way. And very extra. We finish our shopping and board the automobile. Finis taking the wheel. The engine quietly sputters as we depart. So Finis is like, I know he's supposed to be our age, but he looks so much younger, so I just imagine him being like 13 or 14 or something, like driving a car. We drive slowly around the town. As the cityscapes pass behind us, I see the shimmer of gold and silver ornaments here and there. Prominent headlines have been shouting from the rooftops about London's Christmas festival, along with its reconstruction celebrations. I hope the fuck we don't get home and miss them. I'm gonna be so mad. I'm anxious. Many cities of the United Kingdom have shown their support. Surely this town is but one of them. Even shops here in the remote countryside are decorating in anticipation for Christmas. It's like this is the first time they've ever celebrated Christmas. I mean, not us. I mean, like, she makes it sound like towns. Like, oh my God, we're supporting Christmas. Like, it's the first time Christmas has ever been celebrated in Wales. Like, it shouldn't be a new thing. I can only wonder then how lively and elaborate London will be. At the mansion, there's Lupin, Impy, and Saint Germain. And then there's Victor at the clinic, Cece. I watch scenery pass by as I recall each of my friends. Friends whom I'm sure to visit every time I'm in London. Except for one. We have tea together, we chat. Though hardly like things were before, at least I'm able to see them every some months. But then there's him. I know, Spacey, I feel you, girl. The one who travels alongside his partner all across the United Kingdom. Oh! Look how pretty we are. I wonder where they are right now. Are Van Helsing and Delhi journeying even now in this freezing cold weather? I will be pissed, though, if this counts as one of his CGs. Because he's not in it, motherfucker. Like, it's a pretty CG, but it better... Don't you count this as one of his. Like, yeah, here's one of his. He does have a lot, but I'm just saying. My white breath scatters into the air as I gaze up at the high winter sky. The clouds move smoothly along, and the light of the sunset already dims. Night begins to emerge from behind the horizon. Oh God, please don't, if we miss them. Van Helsing. A name leaves my lips along with my white breath, but dissipates just as quickly. I haven't seen him at all, ever since I left London. My dear, most cherished friend. Just like my former self, he pushed his happiness away, sinking into solitude. A man whose eyes bore a flame of deep sorrow. There were so many things I wanted to tell him. So many things. I continue to stare at the sky as though I might see him staring back at any moment. This coming Christmas, for the first time in the longest time, Lupin's crew will gather, so perhaps I'll see him there in London. But it feels like an eternity from now. Oh, it could really only be a matter of moments. My body is tense. Yes, if only I didn't have to wait until Christmas. You might not have to. If the game makes them pass each other, it's going to rip my heart out and I'm going to cry. I want to see him right here and now. Oh! Why does this hurt so much? We're like minutes away from him and it's like, it's like it's ages, like hundreds of thousands of miles. Van Helsing, I miss you. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. We're both thinking the same thing. I can't. Oh! Okay, I'm okay with this being one of his CGs because he's in it now. I didn't mean to say it out loud. Or is that me? Am I saying that? Is he saying it? My unconscious words turn to white and disappear. I could have prepared myself had I known I couldn't see her in the first place. But I came here planning to see her and couldn't. That simple fact is like a vice against my chest. This would be so much better with the voice acting on, but then we'd have to read it after they speak, and then it would just be weird. We already know this. So, Spacey, I haven't seen her since leaving London. My dear friend. Yeah, right. That's a friend. Yeah. Where could she be now? I wonder if she'll return to this mansion today. Moments away. Oh, God. Okay, I'm just gonna... I don't know if we're Van Helsing or we're me. I'm gonna read it as me. I glance up at the darkening sky. No. Actually, we're probably still Van Helsing. Because I feel like he'd be the one looking at the sky. Okay. I glance up at the darkening sky. The radiant sunset ceding to night. I can already see the stars between the clouds. Winter evenings truly do arrive early. So early, in fact, that I can't help but voice my discontent. It's getting cold. Even without a source of heat, there are many ways to stave off the cold. I have no doubt that I can endure it for a night, even a few days if needed, or adjust myself here. But such is not the case presently. Oh my God, don't you dare fucking leave. Oh, we're almost there! We were so close! Are you holding up well, Delacroix? What are you saying? I'm fine. This is hardly more than a cool autumn breeze. There's no need to act so tough. I'm not acting tough. Though he may be stronger than any human, he is still a child after all. Shivering, Delacroix tightly hugs the big bag that he carried. Inside are the precious gifts that he brought for the two siblings. The recipients, however, are still nowhere to be seen. This is killing me. This is fucking killing me. And if they're still not back this late, the chances of them returning at all are looking slim. Though he doesn't say so aloud, it's obvious that Delacroix is thinking the same thing. That they might not be coming back. We're right there! The sun was setting and we were driving home. The town can't be that far away. We should be here by now. Oh my God! Let's get going, Delacroix. Wait a sec! I really am fine. So let's just wait a little bit long. Delacroix stops mid-sentence as I show him the time on my pocket watch. He's got a pocket watch. Pocket watches are hot. Oh. The stagecoach will be making its rounds soon, and the time is literally ticking. If we wait much longer, we won't be able to get back to town. Besides, the cold takes its toll on not just the body, but the mind, too. But imagine how she'd feel if you caught your death in the cold waiting for her to return. Surely you wouldn't want to make her sad, right? Look at his sad eye. He's like, it's that endearing, adorable face, but there's like a sadness behind it. I read a sadness and they're like, I'm so sad she's not here. I know, I'm so sad you're going to leave. Don't fucking leave. They're doing this for the tension, but it's still stressing me out. His eyes cast down. He lets out a sound somewhere between a whine and a groan. And just as he lets out a deep sigh, moments from conceding to me. What's that? A flicker of light can be seen through the forest trees. Just be quiet, sister. Who needs brakes anyway? We'll be fine. This is why I told you to get them checked! Anyway, watch out for that tree! An automobile darts straight towards us. Oh my God! The bad ending. We kill Van Helsing. Ah! That's what this game would do to you. It dicks you over. It doesn't give you Van Helsing kisses ever. And it would literally be like you run him over and he's dead. And you're like, wait, seriously, game? What do you have against Van Helsing? I feel like Deli's the one who wrote this fucking game, like the Van Helsing part, because he's like, ha 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 ha! Van Helsing can never be happy, and you can't have Van Helsing kisses. I mean, seriously? Look out, Delacroix! Ah! And it's just crashed the fucking car. Ow! Ow! The car comes to a halt in the tall grass in a grand fashion. Shaking off my dizziness, I stumble out of the automobile. Easy! I told you we'd be fine. The grass acted as our brakes. That's not how grass works. Oh, we broke all right. Perhaps it's because this automobile was originally obtained illegally when Twilight was disbanded. Perhaps letting Impy alter it afterwards wasn't the wisest of ideas. Or perhaps his entire vehicle had long since crossed the threshold of bad idea when we discovered traces of Nemo's tinkering. Nemo, after! The embodiment of a genius mad scientist, though there's a fine line between genius and talent. I can't believe I'm gonna have to read Nemo's voice in the triangle love affair things. At this point, I don't even really care about the roof of the root of the problem. I was like, the roof, what? Examining the frame of the automobile with the busted brakes, I rest a hand on its hood when suddenly, whoa! You're finally back! Deli? With a high-spirited voice, a small-framed shadow leaps onto Finis. That shadow is beyond any shadow of a doubt Delacroix II. What in the... Where did you slither out from? Deli and Finis frolic about like two puppies playing with one another. Really? It sounds like Deli's trying to play with Finis and Finis is like, get off me! It's like Deli is the dog playing with Finis the cat. Look, they're playing! I'm pretty sure the cat's pissed. Yeah, though, owing to Deli's immense physical strength, it's really more of a one-sided affair. Okay, thank you. But what are you doing here, Deli? Van Helsing's just slowly sneaking up behind you, so when you turn around, there he is. A voice from behind me answers my question. Spacey. She's like, Van Helsing! I was just wishing you would come for me. Sorry. This makes me so happy. It's a voice that seemed to hesitate somewhat, as if to make its presence undeniable. It's a voice I know well. Even if it's been ages since we've met, there's no way I could possibly misinterpret it. After all, there wasn't a single day in which I wasn't reminded of him. Van Helsing? Oh! Look at the way she's beaming at him and he's beaming at her. Look at their beaming faces. That's how I feel right now. Oh, my face hurts. Oh. Anyway. Hi there. It's been a while, hasn't it? A very long while. That was quite the parking maneuver. Are you all right? Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Van Helsing steps closer to me. He looks precisely as I remember him. Oh my god, I just want to lunge at him. I just want to leap on him and hold me. This is why I'm single. Because I'm fucking nuts. Anyway. Surely there are countless words better suited for a reunion. But something deep within me is paralyzed, and I'm stunned into an awkward silence. See? What'd I tell you? I told you they'd come back if we waited just a little longer. Oh, ye of little faith. Can't say I recall you saying that, but I do seem to remember you on the verge of tears. Perhaps the two had grown closer during their journey. Van Helsing and Deli exchanged teases and taunts like they've known each other their entire lives. The scene fills me with nostalgia, and finally I managed to speak. I am so surprised, though. I never thought you'd come all this way. If I'd known, we would have come back in a hurry. Were you waiting all this time? No, we just got here, in fact. I'm relieved to see that you're in good health. So he says, but... Van Helsing softens his expression and casts his eyes slightly downward. Though it pains me to say so soon after our reuniting, the last carriage of the night is making its rounds. We plan to depart shortly. Really? Are we finally... Oh, and we were finally able to see each other again. Parting again so soon... My joy quickly gives way to sadness. If only we hadn't gone out shopping so late, we could have talked a bit more. Oh my god, you have a mansion! Be like, fucking stay here. What kind of a person would I be if I didn't let you stay here? Do you have extra rooms? Deli and Finis can share and you can sleep with me. And I literally mean that, with me. Hold me. There's no need to make that face. We're planning to head straight to London. I assume that you two were invited for Christmas as well, right? In which case, we'll meet again soon, with everyone. I must wonder if his persuasive words are actually directed toward me. Van Helsing closes his eyes for a moment and then urges Delacroix. All right, Delacroix, let's get... wait! Stay just a moment longer. Before I realize it, I stretch my hand out toward Van Helsing's hand just as he turns. It's an action I never would have taken in the past when my body coursed with poison. I notice something the moment I tightly grab his hand. You're so cold. Such is his temperature that even through his gloves I can tell how cold his hands are. Van Helsing, just one moment if you would. What are you... Before he can push himself away from me, I gently bring my hand to his cheek. Slowly running my fingers across his face, I feel a smoothness and coolness not unlike that of a sculpture. I just love this. This would so be me. He's like, wait. She grabs his hands and touches his face, and I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not quite as much as, like, just wrapping yourself around him and, like, clinging to him for dear life because you never want to let him go. But, you know, still, it's a little more than just, okay, sure, bye. It's like she's got some initiative, and he's like, what, you're touching me, what? Like, I like it. His flustered and bewildered cheek was like ice, suggesting that he was victim to the freezing wind's bite for quite some time. What do you think you're doing, Spacey? Suddenly touching my face like that. Van Helsing, be honest with me. Did you really just get here? It's not exactly unusual for one's skin to be cold while outside in the winter. Perhaps it's because he doesn't want to worry me, but Van Helsing is obviously trying to avert his eyes. But before I can press him further, Finnis barges in between us, rolling his eyes. God damn it! Stop cock-blocking me, Finnis! It's no use, sister. Van Helsing is the type who'd never admit to being inconvenienced, no matter how much you interrogate him. And so... Don't leave. Prying Deli off of him, Finnis directs his next words to the future Vampire King. Finnis actually looks happy right now. Wait. So, Delacroix, are you two able to avoid the passing showers earlier today? Our laundry was still hanging outside, so we were a bit at a loss as to what to do. It's just like, Finnis is like talking about laundry. The fuck? Huh? What do you mean? It's been nothing but sunny here since dusk. Noted. So you've been waiting here since at least dusk. What? You sneaky little... Telly immediately shuts his mouth, but it's all too late. I look to Van Helsing, who's shaking his head with a scowl. You've been here since dusk? It hardly felt like a minute. It's nothing to worry about. Of course I'd worry. I can't believe I kept you two waiting in the freezing cold this entire time. Meanwhile, it's like adorable. I can't believe I kept you waiting. He's like, we're the assholes who didn't tell you we were coming. I mean, true, but I love you, Van Helsing, so I'll forgive you. Like, I take Van Helsing's hand once more. Feeling it's cold, I'm silent for a moment, but then speak quietly. Anyway, please come inside. I'll prepare a hot soup. No, it's fine, thank you. We'd missed the last carriage, and then we wouldn't have time to find a place to stay for the night. Stay here with us tonight. Yeah. Finnis is like, what? And you're like, shut up, Finnis. I make the rules, and I want to have a slumber party with Van Helsing. Spacey had to stop herself from saying something worse, but I really just want to curl up in a ball with him and just squeeze him. I'm really sad that the plushies that they made for Code Realize had like creepy, weird little bear body things. They were not like normal, and I need normal ones. So if we could get the fuck on that and get like normal plushies of them, I need them in my life. It just, like I said, I want a plushie pile. I just don't like the ones that they have. They have weird bodies and they're creepy and they scare me a little. And it's like, no, you got like normal heads and creepy bodies, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I need like real ones. What I'm saying. There's actually a woman, if you Google it, you can Google like Saint Germain plushie, and she like fucking made, and it is amazing. And I'm like, I'm gonna need you to make all of them for me. Like, she made it for herself, obviously, but like, I'm like, how? He's got the little buckles and everything. Oh my god, it's like fucking legit. It is amazing. And I'm like, I just want good plushie skill. I want to make my own plushies. I want good plushie skills. Like, I don't know how you do this. They have like do it yourself ones, like from China. Like, I got a bunch of them. They haven't come yet, but I'm like, we need more of these. I need like code realize ones, or you need to be able to be like, make these like, I want to be able to special order, like, I need a Van Helsing one. It doesn't have to be like perfect. It doesn't have to have a little shotgun with him or anything, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Anyway. In the blink of an eye, Van Helsing and Finnis freeze, their faces alight with bewilderment. Conversely, Deli makes a bright and honest smile. Of course he does, he's the smart one. You mean it? It seems so sudden. Of course, it's not a problem at all. You two waited in the cold for so long, and besides, I think we have extra bedding. I mean, we live in a mansion, we got plenty of fucking rooms. I mean, it might be a little drafty, but whatever. Well, wait now, sister. If I recall, Ellie misplaced that bedding, so... Did we? Well, in that case, I'm sure there's plenty of room in the bed Finnis and I sleep in. Oh, whoa. We sleep in the same bed with our brother? What kind of relationship do we have? That is just... The bed Finnis and I... It's a mansion and I have to share a bed with Finnis? Girl. Oh, silly me. And now I remember where he put that bedding. I'll prepare them shortly. Finnis, who only moments ago butted in anxiously, lets out a sigh loud enough for everyone to hear. He's such a little bitch. Truth be told, I'm sure both Van Helsing and Finnis have mixed feelings. Are you alright with this, Finnis? I give up. If this is what you want, I have no right to stop you. And besides, why even ask at this point? If you'll recall, I stayed a number of nights at that mansion back in London anyway. And you, Van Helsing? He's like, God, yes. I mean, I don't know. Though I asked his opinion, I keep a tight grip on his cold hand, like, you don't have a choice, motherfucker. All right. Van Helsing, whose eyes were closed up to this point in the conversation, looks at my hand and makes a dry smile. It's a kind offer that we'll gladly accept. He's like, oh, thank God. He's like, God damn it, marry me. Okay. Now that we have guests, all that's left is to prepare and make them comfortable. Van Helsing helps to start a fire in the fireplace and then puts away their luggage. Deli, meanwhile, helps Finnis get out the various bedding. The two offered to help with dinner as well, but I politely declined. I need not go into details as to why. Van Helsing's cooking. We already know because we did the Victor Van Helsing scenario before this. In any case, with twice as many hands, preparations went quickly. 4 people at the dinner table makes for a far more lively meal than just the usual 2 of us. Look at how cute that little kitchen is. Ha! So good! And now I know what they mean when they say a hot meal warms you to your very core. You exaggerate too much. His sister is prone to let it go straight to her head, so you do well to keep your compliments modest. It's just something simple I whipped together in a hurry. Regardless, Deli smiles as he dips and eats a piece of bread into his... dips and eats a piece of bread into his steamy bowl of onion soup. Holy fuck, I can't read. Shock. I'm glad it's to your liking. And how about you, Van Helsing? It's hot and delicious, thank you. I could immediately tell that your cooking has gotten even better. The ingredients are cut beautifully, and the flavor is very well balanced. See, I mean, like, I might be able to cook some shit, but I wouldn't be like, I cut my vegetables this piece of onion is a little bit smaller than the others, you suck. Like, what the... I just love it. He's like, the presentation is beautiful, and it tastes good too. Like, oh, well, thanks. Lively voices join the table where usually only Finnis and I sit. It's an incomparable meal next to Impy's cuisine, of course. But if it's good enough for even Van Helsing to compliment me on, it can't be too bad. Maybe, just maybe, I'm feeling a bit more confident about my cooking. In contrast to Deli, Van Helsing brings spoonfuls of soup to his lips quietly. Having invited him inside to warm up, one thing is quickly evident. Compared to when I first met him, his mannerisms and expressions have become drastically softer. His sharp eyes and facial features are the same as ever, but now his aloof nature seems to have subsided in favor of a far more gentle warmth. I know he's always making that face and it crushes me. I can't handle it. Every time I'm like, ah. Don't get me wrong, I love his pissed off arrogance. He's like, God damn it, leave me alone. Slams you up against a wall. Glasses asshole. He's still the glasses asshole, but now I look at that face. Oh, glasses marshmallow. I love you. Just want to squeeze him. What's wrong? Aren't you going to eat? Oh, right. Of course I am. I'm just staring at your goddamn gorgeous face. Why are you so beautiful? It hurts me to look at you. You're so fucking gorgeous. I can't very well say that I was busy admiring his face and profile. I hastily tear off a piece of bread and toss it in my mouth. At any rate, Van Helsing, where have you two traveled most recently? Last I heard you were going around up north in Scotland. Scotland! One of the countries that constitute the United Kingdom. It occupies the northern portion of the United Kingdom and roughly 1/3 of it overall, including many islands on its coast. Its capital is Edinburgh. Right. There's plenty we haven't been able to discuss with regards to the protection policy, but it's been quite a journey thus far. About 2 hours pass over a hot meal and discussing our recent lives. We were all in agreement that the two visitors should rest as soon as possible tonight after their long trek. And so everyone went to their rooms a bit early. Although, judging from the nearby voices, Deli is probably in Finis's room telling him all about the details of the journey. In any event, I line up the sewing supplies in the living room where nobody is present. After all, there are plenty of gifts to make and Christmas is fast approaching. Don't make Van Helsing's gift, though. Right then, here goes nothing. Firing myself up, I begin my needlework. All the while, occasionally I'm distracted by sounds from an upstairs room. Here, it's yours! It's my gift to you that I worked ever so hard to choose! Huh? What in the world? A stuffed animal? It seems oddly familiar. Doesn't it look like Spacey? It was a tough decision between that or the pince-nez, but... As the needles quietly do their work, I can make out the energetic voices of Deli and Finis. To think, the former leader of a group that conducted the vampire war, and the son of the late vampire king talking merrily together. Not unlike Van Helsing and Finis, I'm sure the potential for a deep-seated hatred is there, but the two exchange joyful words nonetheless as though they've been friends for many years. Who can say what led to this change in relationship? But I'm glad, so glad, that they seem to be having fun together. But Van Helsing... I wonder if there'll ever be a day when he and Finis will be able to laugh together. Thinking about him makes my chest tighten. I know, mine too. Van Helsing seems so much more gentle than before. His expressions have softened, and his bullet-like deadly nature is now hidden away. And yet, even so, I have no doubt that he's still holding onto a pain from deep within his heart that he can't yet rid himself of. Oh, this won't do. Realizing that my hands have stopped, I reel in the string once more. Considering how many gifts there are to make, there's no time for idle hands. Christmas will be here before I even know it. Spacey... When did he get there? I hadn't noticed in the slightest. He's like, are you literally talking to yourself about me? He's like, Van Helsing, why do I love you so much? My chest tightens. She's thinking, he's like, it's good to hear that out loud. That would be everybody. Come on. It's an Otome game. It's the closest thing we got to rom-coms. That would happen, right? Van Helsing, I thought you were asleep. The children are too noisy. Besides, it seems a bit too early to retire for the night. Really? Maybe I should go tell them to keep down. I pretend to have not realized and do my best to hide the wool that I pushed under the table. Not that there's any way I could possibly hide this mountain of sewing supplies. Van Helsing regards the pile of cotton and cloth and cocks his head slightly. I see you were in the middle of some needlework. I don't particularly think that's something you need to hide. She's like, yes, I suppose so. It's just... Perhaps I should appeal to my maidenly secrecy, telling him that it's a surprise as I'm making his gift as well. I try my best to conceal my flustered state of mind as Van Helsing squints, touching the cloth that I've left out. But I can't say I remember you being the handicraft sort back in London. You're like, that's why these are gonna look fucking stupid, but you're right. I've been teaching myself, though I'm not very good at it yet. I beg to differ. And take this scarf you're working on, for example. It's quite thick and looks to have significant defensive properties. I love Van Helsing. It's like, it's got really good defensive qualities. You're like, you mean against, like, the cold? Yeah. And you're like, okay. Defensive properties. Even she's like, the fuck, Van Helsing? It's like Sandy Cross? Sand in your belly button. The shit that comes out of, like, Marshmallow Van Helsing is just... It's such a Van Helsing compliment. Though for whatever reason, it doesn't feel like that much of a compliment. And they all look like they're partially done. But aren't these colors a bit drab? For you, I feel like pink or red would be a better match. Me? I do like red, but I'm not so sure if pink would match. Honestly, I feel like that would better suit Impy or Victor. Oh! Or maybe it would look cute on Cece. Impy? Cece? I can regret my carelessness all I want, but it's too late now. As I clamp my mouth shut, a look of understanding washes over Van Helsing's face. I see now. So that's why you hid everything in haste. But if you wanted to keep it a secret so badly, shouldn't you have at least kept it to your room? It's out of habit just because I don't often have guests over. Chuckling like he's poking fun, Van Helsing takes each partially done item to his hand and examines them. Even if we put aside mine and you're like, who said I was making you a gift? Well, just assumptions. I'm pretty sure you're getting a belly button full of sand right now. Just kidding. Lupin, Victor, Impy, the Count. Even if we put aside mine. You do have enough materials for Cece, Finnis, and Delacroix, right? I do. I see. But at this rate, I have my doubts that you'll finish by Christmas. Well, I could take some of those pills Victor made that ward off sleep. Good grief, give it here. He takes the knitting needles with an exasperated expression and briefly studies how they work. This is nothing a bit of practice can't take care of. First of all, forget about mine. That alone should lessen your workload significantly. Well, wait a moment, Van Helsing. He sees right through my plans and I shake my head. I appreciate the thought, but I feel bad if you helped. Even more so if I didn't make you something. Besides, I'm sure you're tired from your travels, so you should have a nice rest. This is so fucking cute. He's gonna craft with us. Where the fuck is the Van Helsing in real life? Never turning into the marshmallow, always staying the asshole is basically the Van Helsing in real life. But really, your consideration is more than enough. I'll just work extra hard from here on out. I gather up my scattered knitting materials as I strengthen my resolve. However, I refuse, Spacey. Perhaps I could have overlooked it had I not known any better, but not now. He halts my knitting, grabbing my wrist with a vigor as though he's pulling me in. He looks deep into my eyes, his face nearly close enough to touch mine. God, don't you wish, but it's never going to happen. It's like his eyes are telling me that his mind is made up. My breath stops before I realize it as he brings himself to a distance that would have been unthinkable before my poison was neutralized. But so close! And you're like, ah! And it's not. Because apparently it doesn't happen at all, and that makes me so sad. It hurts, doesn't it? But why? Because I fucking love you, goddammit. Oh. I understand that you want to keep it a secret, and that you want to do it yourself. But what then if you aren't able to complete it? Besides, now that I've snooped, is there really any reason to keep it a secret? It's a gentle voice, like one would use when talking to a small child. Or the woman he loves. Shh, we're the woman he loves. All the while, my chest grows even more restless, and I can hardly focus on the matter at hand. Make mine if you truly must, but save it for the very end, and only if you have time. A gift from you, even if it's well after Christmas, would be delightful nonetheless. I'll give you my heart, Van Helsing. He smiles at me softly, and his hand gently patting my head is the coup de grace. The coup de grace. It's the coup de grace. My legs practically give out from under me as I sit down in a chair and force out a meek voice. Thank you, Van Helsing. In that case, I'll take you up on your offer. Besides, you started everything. You started everything and Van Helsing's going to finish. So it's like, Van Helsing and I made these gifts for you. It's like we're a married couple already. But we're not, but we're going to be, goddammit. Sure, leave it to me. I'll be sure to apply my own touch while I'm at it. Oh god, this is going to be as bad as his cooking, isn't it? His touch? Anyway. So this is certainly an interesting development. I'm assuming we're Van Helsing again. And he's going to be talking about his knitting. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this part up here and we'll finish in the next part. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.